Hi, I'm Sally Van Cura with Channel 6, and today we've joined up with New Lenox Fire Department, where they're going to show us how to safely prepare and cook a deep fried turkey. So let's get started. Hi, we're here with Tom Van Tilburg. Tom, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Again, my name's Tom Van Tilburg. I'm with the New Lenox Fire Department. I've been on here for a little over a year and a half now.
Okay, and you're going to help us prepare the turkey?
Yep, today we're going to show you how to inject the turkey properly. We've already prepped the turkey for you. We pulled the gizzards out and we've kind of cleaned up the turkey and we've washed it down. So today, like I say, we're just going to use our syringe here, and we grabbed a flavor we use Cajun today. Just kind of what the guys like here. So we're going to use a Cajun flavor, and we're just going to inject it into multiple points on the turkey here.
Okay. Now to clean the turkey, you had to take out all the extra fat and take out all the plastic pop-ups.
Correct, yep.
And we're all set to go. And Cajun's a real good selection.
Oh yeah, that's what the guys
turkey.
like here. So.
Yeah, that's a good selection. So show us how you're going to inject this.
Okay. First off, whenever you get your marinade here, you want to make sure you mix it up in the jar here because there's a lot of flavor left on the bottom. We placed it in a bowl here, and I'm just going to mix it up just to kind of make sure the flavor evens out. First thing I'm going to do is you get a syringe. Usually you get a syringe with when you buy the marinade, but otherwise you'll have to go out and buy them. You can get them at any store. So I'm going to drop some of the marinade in the syringe here, just like that. Kind of drip off the extra. And when we go to inject these, we want the rule of thumb I ever use is the more marinade the better. So we're going to do it in the breast here. We're going to get the legs and the thighs, and we're going to do the wings as well. So I'm going to start out here. You want to kind of use it as an angle. Just kind of depress slowly and kind of back out a little bit. And you can see how it kind of plumps up here. And we're just going to go in multiple points here.
Now we're being shown by the best because this firefighter is also a paramedic. So look at this.
And sometimes careful, it comes out like that.
Now you want to make sure that you put it deep in the muscle?
Correct, yeah. They say, and then like I said, you want to kind of, as you're pushing the syringe down the actual plunger, you want to kind of draw back so you evenly distribute the marinade throughout the meat. Okay.
If it's too much under the skin, sometimes it'll react with the oil when you're deep frying and splurter.
Yep. And anytime you do this, like I got some extra here, when we're all finished, I'm going to wipe it down with a wet paper towel.
Okay.
Because you're always going to have a little bit, overflow on that.
And the big thing is to have a dry turkey when you do the deep fry.
Correct, yep.
Okay.
Because the water does not react with the peanut oil that we're using.
So you're going to use up the whole bottle?
I'm going to use the entire bottle, yep.
Okay.
Like I said,
that's going to be nice and juicy.
We're going to go multiple points here. I'm just trying to finish up the breasts here.
Now there'll be about 3 ways to prepare a turkey for deep frying. You could inject like this. You could brine the turkey, and that's a whole different way to prepare the turkey, and a dry rub. But the injection is a good way to get nice flavor in there. Even in the leg, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah, we get everywhere.
Now, one thing about the turkey, the size does matter. It should be between 10 and 12 pounds for your turkey. Anything more, it takes a little bit longer to cook and your skin gets a little charred. Anything less, you really want a nice 10 to 12 pound turkey. And I think, what do we have here?
We're using a 12 pound today.
Okay. And for a 12 pound, what do we usually do? How many?
We usually, when we bring the temperature up in the fryer to about 350 degrees.
Okay. And how long would this turkey take?
I don't know, probably around 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe.
Per pound?
Yeah.
So about 30 minutes, start testing for doneness with a thermometer.
Yeah, we always use a thermometer because with the deep fryer, actually the turkeys seem to cook faster.
It surprises you.
I got some extra here, so I'm just going to kind of fill up the rest of here. Ideally, if you can do this, they say if you can do this overnight, let the marinade kind of soak overnight, it's actually a better flavor.
Okay. Now we're going to dry the turkey, but it should. Do you let it set a little bit for the drying purposes? Or?
Yeah, we'll let it set, and when we put the peanut oil in the fryer, you know, kind of give it some time to set in here. Like I said, I'm going to clean this up a little bit before, try to get this excess fluid off of here before we put it in the fryer.
Okay.
All right, that's probably pretty good there. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to just clean this up, and we'll get it prepped for putting in the fryer.
Thank you, Tom, for showing us how to prepare the turkey. Next, we have new Lenox Fire Chief, John Mead, where he's going to give us some tips on how to set up our deep fry. Here we are with new Lenox Fire Chief, John Mead. Chief Mead, hi.
Good morning,
Thank you for
how are you?
joining us. Real good. Now you're going to be our cook.
Well, we're going to get it started anyway.
Okay.
And under most circumstances, what we're using a peanut oil to cook the turkey in, and usually between 3 and 4 gallons that we're going to be putting into an aluminum pot.
Okay.
And most turkey fryers on the aluminum pot, there's a line usually somewhere on the front where the writing's at that tells you how much oil to put in it. So it says maximum fill line. Most turkey fryers usually recommend between 18 and 19 pound turkeys as a maximum for cooking. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our jug of peanut oil, which you can pick up pretty much anywhere when it gets closer to Thanksgiving, about a week and a half, and you'll see a lot of it out. But what we'll do is we're going to take and we're going to dump this in here. We also want to make sure that we don't have any water in the pot. We want to make sure everything is clean and dry. And because if we put water in there, we mix it with the oil, the water gets hot enough that it can expand. So we want to avoid that situation.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do now, is we'll put the oil in the pot.
And again, there's a line for safety purposes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The other thing is that you want to make sure that this is cold when you're doing it. That you don't have the burner running, you don't have the pot heating, anything like that. We're going to put the oil in here cold, and we're going to fill it up to the line.
And that's a lot of oil. That's one thing we could reuse the oil if you strain it through cheesecloth too for the next time.
The one thing that you probably don't want to do is that if you cook a lot of turkey and it flakes off the outside, or you put, or if you cook some fish or something that's breaded in there.
Okay.
Our recommendation would be to change the oil. And the reason being is that you don't have all that extra stuff in there. And like you said, if you strain it, but you're not going to get it all out of there. The more times you use this, the lower the ignition temperature of the oil is lowering. Every time you heat it up and it cools down, you lower the ignition temperature. So eventually you will reduce it to the point where it'll catch on fire pretty easy.
Oh, that's a good tip. I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we change our oil on a regular basis, and especially like if you're going to cook 1 or 2 turkeys, during Thanksgiving, all right, you could get away with it. After that, it's probably time to change it. The other thing is that people put different ingredients and different flavorings into their turkeys. Some people even use Jack Daniels or that kind of stuff to season their turkeys. And that alcohol has to burn off. It goes somewhere, and after it burns off while you're cooking the turkey, but any remaining ingredients would still be in there as well. So you can actually change the flavor of the turkey if you keep using the grease over and over again. So if you really want that flavor to come out, the best thing to do is to change the grease and use fresh grease when you're cooking.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll get it started. One of the things that we want to do is make sure that we keep our propane gas cylinder back as far as possible away from the burner, and make sure that all our safety valves are in place. And when we do this, it has to be, there's a setting on here, and when you originally get your turkey burner or your turkey roaster, you want to make sure that you have the settings going that are right for the flame to come out so it heats up the grease. We're going to open the propane cylinder, and then we're going to turn on our red safety valve, and you can hear the gas coming out a little bit. And now we have contact. Both of our valves are open, and the grease is now heating up. One of the things is that we want to do is we want to make sure that we keep an eye on it. We want to make sure that we take our burner out away from our structure or out away from our garage, or keep it away from anything that can burn, including your picnic tables, that kind of place. You want to make sure that we put it on a stable ground base, so that way our pot doesn't tip over while we're cooking the turkey. And then probably one of the most dangerous situations with these, and people don't realize it, is that if the turkey has water in it or the turkey is still partially frozen, because what happens is when we put a frozen turkey inside the hot grease, water boils at 212 degrees. The grease inside there is about 350 degrees when we're heating it. So what happens is that water releases from the turkey, or comes out of the turkey, it heats up past its expansion point, and then it causes the grease to bubble and pop. And so it's really an air pocket inside the grease that rises up and blows open. That's why the turkeys have to be dry when we put them in there. Not dry as like, you know, we're taking a towel and drying them off, but we need to make sure that there's no water in them as much as possible. Once we put the turkey in there and it starts cooking, if there's any frost in the turkey, like I said, what's going to happen is it will cause the grease to come up out of the pot, because of what's going to happen when we set the turkey in there, it is going to push the grease up toward the top of the cooking pot. And when it does that, it's going to be about 1.5 inches, 2 inches down from the top. And any water in there is now all going to sudden release, and water expands 1,700 times its size when we heat it up to its boiling temperature. That's why the water reduces inside the pan, like when you're boiling water on a stove. The water starts going down. Well, the steam expands that much. So if we do that and we put steam in here, now all of a sudden the steam is going to push the oil up. And that's really what happens when we have issues with turkey roasters. That, and people put them underneath awnings, or they cook it in their garage, and if they have that type of situation happen, now all of a sudden we have a garage fire, or we have a porch fire, or a house fire, which we want to try to avoid. So
Yeah, keep it away from the house, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
House and as level as possible.
Now what temperature do we go to?
This will go up to about 350 degrees before we actually put our turkey in there.
Okay.
So that's what we're waiting for. What we'll do is, as it heats up, we're going to measure the temperature with a long thermometer.
Okay.
And when it gets to 350 degrees, then we're going to put our turkey in there, and the turkey's going to cook approximately 3 minutes per pound on the turkey. So if we're looking at a 14-pound turkey, about 60 minutes. Okay, we're going to measure our oil. And our oil's now at 350 degrees. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the turkey in. And see, we're outside on this beautiful day. Going to make sure that we got everything ready to go. Want to make sure that you use the holder, the stainless steel triangle piece that I have in my hand. We're going to remove the lid, and we're going to very slowly put the turkey inside the pot. You're going to start hearing it sizzle pretty quick. As we go slow into the pot, the turkey's going to fill with grease, and as long as there's no water in there, the turkey should be fine. Everything's going according to plan. We're going to put the lid back on it, and we're going to allow it to cook for a little bit. As I said before, it's about 3 minutes a pound. That's approximately a 4-pound turkey, or a 14-pound turkey. So we're looking at approximately 42 minutes to cook this turkey. So we're going to go 3 minutes a pound plus 3 minutes past. So we're going to put it for a total of 45. We're going to check the temperature intermittently of the grease, so that way we don't get the grease up and out of past 350 degrees. So we may have to make some adjustments to the gas regulator that's going into the burner. So real quick, we'll check the grease one more time. Our grease is well within the 350 range. So now we get to hurry up and wait.
Chief, this turkey looks wonderful. Look, it's brown, it's juicy on the center. What a great presentation.
The turkey turns out very well this way, and it takes a lot shorter time than it would be under normal conventional oven cooking. We cooked this bird for about 45 minutes, which was about a 14-pound bird, and it's golden brown and ready to go, and we'll be enjoying it very shortly.
Okay, and my best part of the show is always to get a little taste.
By all means.
Let's see how we are. That is good. And nice and juicy, it's wonderful.
One of the big things with cooking a turkey this way, and a lot of people forget, is that the bird needs to be completely defrosted and there cannot be any water in it. If you put water and grease, it will cause an issue, which we'll demonstrate for you. This is what happens when the turkey is placed into a deep fryer with grease. The water actually turns to steam and makes small explosive bubbles inside the grease, causing the grease to come out of the pot. So with that, we want to warn you, please be safe when you're cooking turkeys this way and make sure they're dry. Thank you.
Chief, thank you very much. What a
It was my
great
pleasure.
show. And thank
Thank
you
you.
for the safety tips for us.